The Blues dropped the first game of a three-game homestand here in St. Louis on Saturday night versus the Columbus Blue Jackets, 2-1. And if you're watching on YouTube, there are two jerseys missing behind me. That is because we wore those to the game. Yes, I was there tonight to watch this 2-1 loss. We're going to break down the good and bad from this game tonight, as the Blues are now 20-4 on the season. Welcome everybody to the Blues Reaction Show. I'm your host, AJ Nance. Make sure to go follow us on Instagram and TikTok for daily St. Louis sports content at Arch City Sports. And of course, like the video and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And go, if you're listening on Spotify, follow us over there and rate the podcast as well. We really appreciate that. As I mentioned, a 2-1 loss this Saturday night to the Columbus Blue Jackets, a team we saw just about a week ago in a 6-4 loss in Columbus. And maybe they just have our number, because after the first period and this one, it was 1-0 Columbus, getting a goal from Adam Fantilli. Kind of a tough situation for Bennington. I don't think there was anything he could really do about that one. Second period come around on the power play. Cam Fowler in front of the net, left his position, went behind the net, and Sillinger found his way right in the middle of the crease to put it past Bennington. A save that I think Bennington, or a shot that I think Bennington would like to have back. I think he would definitely say he should have saved that one, which made it 2-0. And honestly, I don't even want to say we didn't have scoring chances in this one. I think throughout the entire game we had our opportunities. But on the other side, I mean, Jet Greaves, I believe this was his 13th or 14th career start, was absolutely phenomenal. Last year was 41 for 43 in net against the Blues, and then in this one was absolutely outstanding, going 31 for 32 in net. And the only goal for the Blues came in the third period. Colton Parayko, with 10 seconds left on a 6-on-4 power play, rammed one in past Jet Greaves, and even that one he almost got to. Very athletic goaltender that I think is going to get more playing time as this season moves on. There was plenty of opportunities for us in this one. As I mentioned, Jet Greaves, absolutely outstanding. I thought Columbus as a whole defensively did very well to prevent us from having sustained possession in their end. Puck was kind of bouncing around, and I think we had several times where it was just really a one and done. We had it down their end, back out of our end, and so really don't like to see that. Obviously, one player that did stand out to me, being there live and watching it is very different than watching it on TV every night. But being there in person, Zachary Bolduc was very impressive. Whether it be forechecking, which I thought he was great at tonight, dumping it and getting there, kind of maneuvering himself around defenders. I thought he was very smooth in that aspect. And also, even though as a whole we did not have sustained possession of the puck near Jet Greaves on that end of the ice, I thought whenever Bolduc had that opportunity, and overall in his game tonight, I thought he did very well of keeping that puck on his stick. Made a couple really nice tape-to-tape passes. And overall, this is one of those games you don't obviously want to lose. A team that is, I mean, just about the same when it comes to record. They're 20-17-6. We're 20-4. But I do think we are more talented and more skilled than the Columbus Blue Jackets. But two really good performances from Elvis Merzlikins, I believe it was on the last one. And they scored 6 goals on that one. And then obviously tonight, Jet Greaves stole the show, and he's easily first star of the night. Defensively, I thought there was several times just kind of miscommunication from the defensemen making the passes up to the forwards. There was a couple communication issues, it seemed like, and just not on the same page with Fowler and Kyrou and Buchnevich. I saw that several times. I thought Cam Fowler probably had one of his worst games as a Blue tonight, and that's no shot at him. Fowler has been absolutely phenomenal as a Blue so far. I just thought this was one of his worst games with the Blues. Tyler Tucker did show a lot of good things in this one on the defensive side. I think he could have got a little more involved physically in this one to make himself known. Ryan Suter was solid, did his thing. Colton Parayko did his thing. Another guy in Parayko that I thought there was a couple times just seemed kind of off tonight. The communication, the chemistry, it just seemed a little off, especially with the accuracy of our passes. I thought Philip Broberg played really solid on both ends of the ice, really smooth, got back a couple times, prevented odd man rushes. Really like to see that. And Nathan Walker's another one that stood out to me. Nathan Walker getting in the middle, kind of scrapping it a little bit, trying to get the fan base into it. It seemed kind of drowsy and sleepy at times, just because there was no goals being scored, and we had chances late in this one. I think we were really trying to pepper Jet Greaves and throw a lot of pucks on net. Just hopefully one of those ugly goals would go in. It just did not happen to be the case. He made an unbelievable save early in this one. I think set the tone for the Blue Jackets against Saad. Stretched all the way across, hit I think it was literally his skate, not even his pad, that stopped Saad on that side of the net. So he stole the show. I thought Columbus overall played really well, and honestly, yes, we only scored one goal. I'm not too worried about this game. I made a couple videos about how this next 7-8 game stretch is extremely important for the Blues for the rest of the season if we want to make something happen this year. And I still stand by that. I still think these next couple games are extremely important. But this is one of those games where I don't think there was a whole lot else we could do to score. We had our opportunities. We had our chances. I think Columbus played one heck of a game. Defensively, offensively, they just did enough. They really didn't do anything spectacular on that end, where Bennington really was pretty comfortable, I felt, all night. He didn't have to do anything spectacular at all. But defensively, making it very tough to enter the zone late in this one. And when we enter the third period, Columbus pretty much shut down all entries into their zone. And late in this one, even when there was about 4 minutes left or so, we pulled Bennington and it was a 6-on-5. They made it extremely difficult to get anything. They were clearing everything. They had a couple icings in a row. Just we could not get possession, even though we had a man advantage, and let alone a minute later had a 2-man advantage. Now, yes, we did score with about 10 seconds left, but they made it very difficult to hold possession on their end. So shout out that Columbus defensive group, and shout out, their forward group, Jet Greaves. They definitely deserved the win in this one. The one thing I do think that we could have been better at, and I kind of mentioned it a couple times already, is just the kind of the accuracy of some of the stuff we were doing. The misreadings, making a couple passes behind guys. There was also several moments where I saw for sure Kyra and Buchnevich both do it one time, where they drop the puck in front of them with somebody skating ahead as if to drop it off to them full head of steam and go, and it was just miscommunication and nobody took it. It was just sitting there in the middle of them, and then they took it and skated with it. So just stuff like that, where I just don't think there's a word I'm looking for, chemistry or togetherness, just kind of on the same page. They just didn't seem on the same page tonight from the get-go. The first 3 minutes of the game, Columbus came out and had 5 shots on Bennington real quick and had possession on the first shift of the night. It was like a minute 30 seconds of holding it in our end. We could not clear it, and I think that set the tone for the rest of the night, along with obviously Jet Greaves being absolutely fantastic. So tough loss for the Blues tonight. We are back in action on Tuesday versus the Calgary Flames, and then again on Thursday versus the Calgary Flames, both games at home. A Flames team that is very comparable record-wise and skill-wise, I believe, to this Columbus group. And I think the biggest thing with Columbus is they're playing with something deeper this year with Johnny Gaudreau's passing this offseason. You can tell they're playing with a sense of urgency and fight. And, shout out to them. They were very impressive, especially in person in this one. And like I said, we faced the Flames on Tuesday, the Flames on Thursday. 2 games that are very, in our hands, that we should be able to win, but we need to put a little more effort, especially on the offensive side of the ice. And I don't think we're gonna have a Jet Greaves performance like that anytime soon. Hopefully, because he was unreal tonight, really impressive, and I think we're going to hear a little bit more about him moving forward after this performance. So. Yeah, I thought Bennington was really solid in this one. I thought several players on our side were really good. I thought Dylan Holloway was hitting everything in sight, which is not really his game, but he was very physical in this one. There is one more player that I don't think played very well tonight. Couple chances offensively, just bouncing off his stick. Couple penalties. That's Oscar Sundqvist. He almost had a third penalty that the ref did not call, and I think he literally saw it on the side of the boards. Pretty cheap shot at the end there by Oscar Sundquist. So I didn't really like his game tonight. But overall, I really liked Bolduc's game tonight. I really liked Broberg's game, and I really liked Pareko's game as well. And Binnington was really solid in net. So tough loss, 20-20-4 now on the season. We have to regroup here. We get 2 days off before we go stay here at home, but face the Flames for 2 games. So hopefully we can get a couple wins here and right before we go on the road versus Utah and Vegas. So I will see you guys for that reaction show, and I will see you guys on the Monday episode covering high school basketball here in St. Louis. So make sure to tune in on that one. Subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. Like this video as well. Follow us on Spotify and Amazon Music if you're listening over there. And, of course, go follow us all over social media, especially on Instagram and TikTok. And I will see you guys for the next episode of Arch City Sports.